Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again. It's Edgar Rafael Ndani from Bongo Forex here. It's 10/14/2018 and it's 12 p.m. here in United Kingdom. As you all may know, that we start the market analysis with the fundamental analysis and drop back to technical analysis, just to get a bit of sense of where the market is going and get the top-notch entry levels, stop losses, and take profit and the targets for the coming week. Remember, guys, this is educational purpose video and is not a signal providing service. I repeat again, this is educational purpose video and is not a signal providing service. I might be wrong sometimes, yes. As a trader, as an investor, it always happens. No one is perfect in this game, but all in all, it's all about accumulating returns over the number of days, weeks, and years, and becoming successful and rich out of that. Now, starting with the fundamental, I'd like to highlight on S&P 500 role on the dollar index. Last week, you have seen dollar index losing its momentum after massive upbeat from the last 2 weeks, reaching its up tops and hitting the double tops. Now, most traders out there and investors now highlight the potential situation of the market downturn after seeing a massive sell-off as S&P 500 due to hedge fund de-risking their portfolios. Now, this came after the increase in volatility into the market. Now, guys, if you look at it here, the charts, this is the S&P 500, and it reached to 2920. But was it last week? Yeah, no, it was last 2 weeks, and then there was a massive sell-off. Now, this is because of the hedge fund de-risking the portfolio due to increase in volatility in the market. Now, what do I mean by de-risking their portfolio? This is because we see the same situation as February, where we've seen a decrease in the dollar. We see a bond yield curve increase and drop in the bond prices, as well as S&P 500 prices. So simultaneously they drop at the same time, which is not normal for a stock market. And this happened in February, and this is happening again this month, and it happened last week, where we see same drop in bonds prices as well as S&P 500. Now, having said that, that makes the hedge funds try to look for other means of investment. So they're gonna run to safe haven. That's why we saw there's a massive upbeat of the gold last week, where it broke the resistance level and reached and make the new highs. Now, guys, if you look at the bond, this is Bloomberg right here, and you can see from my screen the Bloomberg. It's a bond traders IFED speak for signs of doubt after stock swings. Now, the stock series was made by the hedge fund, as you can see from the chart here. And this is November 2017 to today price chart. As you can see, there's a bit of correlation between the 10 years treasury yield and S&P index. So both of them have really been hit off with current trade wars in US. So look at that. That's a massive sell-off of S&P 500. And that's another massive sell-off of 10 years treasury yield, and that explains a lot on how the market is gonna react for the coming weeks and coming month. Now, remember, S&P has a correlation and relationship with the dollar index, so be careful on that. Now, for technical side of it, I'm gonna analyze how it's gonna happen and what's gonna happen for the coming week, and how we can take opportunities for the coming week. Apart from that, we expect a bit of results coming out, earnings results, especially from banks and investment funds, such as Bailey Gifford, Goldman Sachs, and Morgan Stanley. So for all stock traders, just keep an eye on that. And as well, this kind of results, apart from the technology stocks, they are most favorable in the S&P 500. Henceforth, anything negative might have a further correction of the S&P 500 to drop. So we're going to expect a massive deviation if there's a negative result, but we're going to expect a less positive deviation from the S&P 500. Last but not least is the EU summit this coming week. Now remember last week we have seen a bit weird rising of GBP USD against the US dollar currency index, and that was because of the Brexit vote becoming better and better and more positive for British. Now they're gonna be a EU summit. I think it's gonna be on Wednesday and Thursday. We're gonna expect a final withdrawal treaty between British or United Kingdom against the EU. Now, if you look at the Brexit barometer, it says plunges to 8-month low in September. That means this is quite positive. Having said that, it shows a bit of positivity coming in the market, especially for the GBP and especially for FTSE 100 that has been stalling for the last few weeks. So having said that, I would like to jump straight to the market and look for technical analysis where we can see significant levels and analyze for opportunities for the coming week. Alright, I'll be analyzing each pair for 1 to 2 minutes just to be able to be more clear, succinct, and save you time. Let's look at the dollar index. Now, my expectation for the dollar index for the coming week, this is it. My analysis tells me that after the double top from last week, tunategemea kwamba price itakuja itahit katika 95.32 or there might be a further update. So here's 95.29 or to go to 95.70, and then a massive sell-off is probable. Is absolutely probable. So expect a massive sell-off with a target of 94.41. Now guys, the reason I'm looking at this is because of S&P 500 performance plus the technical side of the dollar index, because we see the double tops, which indicates that the price doesn't want to go more than that. It's gonna have a massive correction for the coming week. Okay, let's jump to Euro US dollar. Euro US dollar has been quite interesting for me last week. I shorted this and I get a lot of returns from that. It was almost thousands of pips just from one trade. You know, guys, that's a skill right there. That's how novice trader do. You just have to understand the fundamentals first and then execute. Now, for expectation of the breakout of this support level of the dollar index, I'm expecting a further drop, not a further appreciation of the EURUSD. Now this is what I see for the coming week. I see a price coming to this level of 1.1532. After correcting there with here, so this is gonna be the price coming here. After correcting there, I'm expecting the price to go with a massive upward momentum in reverse of dollar index, which is gonna be a massive drop. If that doesn't gonna happen, I'm expecting these levels here, and I'm gonna buy and going long for these levels of 1.14749. Why? Because this has been a very strong and upward trend from the past few months. Now this is a lot of pips, guys, so you know how to trade. If you're a short-term trader, you know how to trade this. You just follow the trend and enter the highs. When the price kind of correct a little bit, so when there's a high, so you just look for that small correction, and then you enter, you buy, you enter, you buy, you exit, you buy, exit. That's how it play. But for those long-term traders, you just have to buy and hold for the whole week or for the next 2 weeks. Okay, let's jump to US dollar. Let's jump to US dollar Japanese yen. That's the next market I'm looking forward for this week. Now this is absolutely interesting. Now for this trade, I'm expecting now for me as a trader, I don't like to jump into trades even if I'm late. So my expectation for this coming week, I expect the price to come to this level for 112.843 and a further drop in the pair, or further drop to these levels here. So this is because if I look at the trend from the last 2 weeks, it's been bearish for US dollar Japanese yen, so I'm expecting a further decrease in the price of USD Japanese yen Yeah. Jumping to gold now. I explained why gold we saw this a massive upbeat. This is because gold is a safe haven. I can see the red arrow there. I expected the price to kind of hold a little bit on this resistance levels, but we saw a massive upbeat. Dude, if you got this move here, that's congratulations to you. This was such a massive move. Now, after the breakout, what do I expect for the coming week? This is what I'm expecting for the coming week. If I go for my daily time frame, I'm expecting a price. Let me zoom in for you guys. I expect the price to kind of like correct itself to this here and see a further upward movement to 1241.18 and a further breakout to this level of 1259.09. Now, judging from the S&P 500, the dollar index performance next week, and even Morgan Stanley themselves, they look forward for the price to go to 1353.94, which is here up here. This is by Morgan Stanley. They expect the gold to have that kind of upbeat appreciation. Now, for me, having all those clues, I just want to play called the playbook on trade markets. I'm gonna use those tools to have my bias on the gold for the coming few months. Jumping to GBP USD. GBP USD has been notorious last week. Why? It's because of, if you use dollar index itself to analyze GBP USD, you might got it wrong sometimes, because GBP USD has been keep on going up compared to EURUSD. It has this kind of strong upward movement appreciation. That's because after massive sell-off, we see a correction valuation of this pair. Why? It's because of the Brexit talks. It's been positive for United Kingdom. And having said that, I'm expecting the price to come to these levels of 1.3970 and a further upward movement. Otherwise, I'm expecting to come to this is the most important key level. If for the conservative traders, you're looking for this level of 1.3467, and you're gonna buy along here, that goes to these levels here, and possible breakout might happen, and you can see a further upward movement in the price. So moving to Aussie dollar USD. For me, this pair, I'll keep on selling this. I'm gonna keep on shorting this no matter what's happening to the dollar index. But saying that, I'm expecting the price to probably come to these levels here, and I'm looking for short opportunities to this target of 0.71003. So that's how I see the markets. Why? It's because of the trade conflict between China and the US dollar, and the US, that affects the Australian economy, because China has a massive influence on the Australian economy due to its massive manufacturing and demand of iron ore from Australia, which subsequently is gonna affect the price, even though we're gonna see a weakness in dollar index. So New Zealand US dollar has been such a good trade for most traders out there for the few months since May. This massive sell-off. As I said earlier, the Aussie dollar and New Zealand US dollar have the same characteristics. So some traders, this is what they look for. They look for a buy here going long to reach these key levels here. For me, due to fundamentally, I see further weakness is foreseeable. As you can see from the charts here, I showed you guys that fundamentally I see weakness is foreseeable. Why? Because of the trade wars that's going to affect the New Zealand currency. So probable upward, there's gonna be a bit of bullish here, and then I'm expecting a further sell-off, and then there's a probability of the price to come up to these targets of 0.68324 or further upward to 0.73408. All right. Oh, I almost missed this one. US oil. Now, US oil has been one of my favorite commodities to trade wise because of its dependability. Now, as a trader, you try to remove all the negative things in your trade book and look for those kind of opportunities that have more dependable characteristics. Why? Look how US oil is dependable in these significant levels, and it's important for a trader to notice this and take advantage of this. So for me, last week I shorted this pair and I got really good returns. Just imagine a micro lot of 0.01 could have a massive return for you. Now if you look at this sharp drop here, this was I traded last week. I put just one contract of 0.01 and I got almost $20 return on that one. So just imagine having 0.1 mini lot, that is gonna be $200, and if you have a standard lot, that's gonna be roughly $2,000 on a very short move here. Alright, so what I'm expecting for the US oil, I expect a further drop of the price to these levels here. So I'm expecting it to drop to these levels and maybe a rapid upward movement of the oil, because remember guys, oil is still on the rise. So be careful on that. This small drop in oil doesn't mean that oil is still is consolidating. No, is correcting itself temporarily, but is long-term view is an upward appreciation. So thank you guys for your attention. I hope this week is gonna be a successful week for you guys. For me, as always, I like to trade fundamentally and look for and enter the technical analysis and try to find for opportunities. Oh yeah, just remember something. Someone yesterday asked me about how to use MACD. Well, MACD is fairly simple. Number one rule of MACD: do not trade trends with MACD. Do not trade trades with MACD. Trade consolidation and ranges with MACD. If a price is in a range, let me look for a pair that is on range. Okay, let's look at this one. This one is an interesting one. Okay, no, yeah. So this is a bit of a range. This is just a rough picture of US card. Now, if you trade MACD, look here. The price has come to the tops. The MACD is above its average level. Now it's on 0.0107. I'm gonna look for a possible short when the convergence happen. Now, when I say convergence happen, is when the short term and the long term smooth average meet each other. Now, if you look at my cross, I've just added the cross cursor here. Now look at here. If you look here, we see that convergence happening. Now, if that convergence happen between the blue, let me easy for you guys, the blue and the orange line here, we're expecting a divergence in the prices. So you can see the price is converging here and the bullish turns into red. That's going the bearish coming in, and can look the price starting to shift and breaking through the mean reversion of exponential moving average of 14 days. As well as you can look at the previous prices here as well, you can look at this massive drop. So MACD could be useful tool for you to trade, and that's a very shallow, simple way to look at it. But I'm gonna have an independent class on that where I'm gonna talk of all technical tools for you guys. Just tune in to Bongo Forex Instagram page, and just also write comments down below so I can write down and be able to group your questions together and help you to learn the Forex market the right way. Thank you guys and have a great weekend. For me, it's just a beautiful day on Sunday. Just don't forget to pray and give back to the community. And that's how human beings we are wired. We love, we care, we share, and that's what I do here. I share with you guys my knowledge and skills and my experience in trading. And cheers, peace, bye.